dear all beautiful students, welcome all to our today's session once again. Very good morning you all, and we are connecting with the science subject. Having the class of chapter 4. I already discussed many of the important topics. Today another important topics is waiting for you. So let's go to the topics. The flower. Today we'll try to understand about flower. Many of you don't know what is the flower. When I ask or anyone asks that what is flower, instantly there is not coming any definition or what is flower. We don't know actually. Okay, beautiful things. If I say no, that is not the answer. So if it is asking for 1 marks, what is flower? So what will you write? You must write there the reproductive part or organ of the plants. The reproductive parts of plant. Through sexual reproduction, it can produce the new offspring. Normally, generally, if I ask you what is flower, the reproductive part of the plants, and not only that, through the sexual reproduction, the flower, I know, you know that the male and female part in the flower actually through sexual reproduction can produce the offspring. So it is very important things for knowing the definition and general concept of the flower. Yes, of course, there is the main five parts of a flower. Main five parts of a flower, like what we write just for very lower part, receptacle. I will draw the figure, then you can easily understand. Receptacle, then calyx, then petal, then stamen, and then finally carpel. It is the androecium and it is the gynoecium. These are the main five parts of the flower. Those flower have these main five parts are called the complete flower. These are known as the complete flower or typical flower. We can write the typical also, typical or complete flower. So what we try to understand from these topics, the reproductive parts of the plant through which the male and female part can produce new offspring. I told you that is the flower, and main five parts of a flower is counted as the receptacle, the calyx, the petal, stamen for androecium, this is the male gamete, and carpel for gynoecium, it is the female gamete. Okay, produce the female gamete, female part are known as the complete flower. If any of these part can have shortage in a flower, are not known as the complete flower. That is called the incomplete flower. Okay, that means what we mentioning here, the main five parts of a flower have that called the typical or complete flower, and what we think about any of that main parts are absent in the flower, that times we can say this is the incomplete flower. Many of you already joining. Samir Hussain, of course, Sumaira, then Oshim Patwari, Imtiaz Reza, Adrito, Abdullah Amor. So all of you, alaikum assalam, and hope so you are getting well. So these are the main important parts of the complete flower. Suppose this one is not, this one is not, this one is not, any of them absent in a flower, that is not a complete flower. So complete flower have these 5 important parts, or typical flower have these important 5 parts. If any of it is absent, that is called incomplete flower. If it is asking for 1 mark, what is incomplete flower, that times you will write that any of the parts like receptacle, calyx, petal, stamen, carpel, okay, absent, that times that flower is known as the incomplete flower. Very importantly, we know this term. I hope so that you also getting this term properly. So now we will try to understand about the flower parts, what we actually mentioned here. We'll try to draw the figure. Look at here. Very first time, give it like that, a structure, and make it bend at the lower part, look like that. Then I just try to draw in this way. You will also try to draw and follow with me like that type of a structure. And not only this part, I will give it here a structure like that, with having the 8 nucleus. This one, and yes, of course we will try to draw that one, this one double, you can make it double like that, and this one also have, you can write vice versa and draw this one in this way, and it is like that. Just follow this one and freehand, try to freehand writing like that. We will draw in this way, in this way, of course will be there. And then there is option, you can cover single, individual in this way, okay, individually you can draw like that, and just covering part for matching that items, and this one is also in this way. So this is a complete flower. I just try to draw this one, so you will try to follow me. And suppose I make sure the gap, you can make sure this one for looking more better and beautiful looking. So which part is actually mentioning there? The hard part is there, receptacle, a receptacle, and this one is actually calyx, calyx, and then this one is the petal, the attractive part, petal, and this one is actually full, this one is the stamen, stamen, and all of these stamen is actually counted as, of course will be there, and total part, this one is totally is known as the carpel, 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 yes. So it is very important to know about that figure. If it is asking for draw the figure with marking parts for 3 marks, is you can't believe that only drawing the figure with marking parts look like beautiful, it will be expanded, it will be bold. Your right drawing and marking the part is very important. So figure, flower, complete flower. If any of this part, if it is going on there, stamen is actually both cases counting. Any of this part is absent, that times that flower is known as the incomplete flower. The complete flower receptacle. This one is the stalk. Above the stalk contain the calyx and whole part. This is the receptacle. Calyx, you know that covering parts above the stalk or receptacles. That is the calyx, the green parts. Okay, then petal. The flower petal is looking beautiful, colorful, like pink color, like yellow color, different color. Okay, so this is the petal, and stamen is full this part to this part. All of them are the stamen, and carpel is from this one to up to this one. This total is the carpel. Okay, carpel or gynoecium, stamen or androecium, the male part and female part. We will discuss about this one also for getting and cutting that specific parts. Make you understand. I will make you understand. This is the complete flower. Okay, complete flower, if it is having there. So the complete flower having example also. The complete flower, typical or complete flower, China rose or Java. Example of the complete flower, China rose or Java. Then you can write Datura. Complete flower. You can as well you can write about this one, the complete flower, China rose or Java, Datura, like them. This is the complete flower of China rose. The figure and all parts. I think you understand the all parts what we actually try to draw here. Okay, so later on I have seen many of you also joining. Jobair joining, Kiratul Ayan joining, Rubayat Karim joining, Arib Mohimen joining, Rahma, Sohel, Ayman Al Tahmid. Okay, all of you, alaikum assalam. Abdullah Amor, alaikum assalam. All of you are very good morning, and I already discussed very important topics. So who are joining later after publishing the video, you can do it from the first side, from the first one. So now I want to tell you another important things, that is very importantly we need to know about the parts, specifically that what the parts mentioning in a complete flower. Not only this, now we will try to understand other two parts like carpel, gynoecium, or stamen, androecium, female parts and male parts. Then we will go through some understanding about that. Now we will try to understand about this one, carpel and stamen. I think you draw this figure and understand carpel and stamen. Suppose very first one I want to go through carpel. Carpel, I tell you, the gynoecium. Gynoecium, and actually what is the figure of it? This one is the figure, this one is the figure, and I draw a figure like this one. Figure, this was the figure of here, and this one is called the stigma. Okay, this one is the style, and this one is the ovary. So a carpel have three important part. One is the stigma, one is the style, another one is the ovary. The three parts of a carpel must be understand this one. Okay, the female reproductive part, it is sometimes you get the symbol like that. Female reproductive part, gynoecium, symbol this one, and consist of three parts: stigma at the top, the long rod like structure, style, and this one is sac like structure is the ovary. And now if we try to understand stamen, if it is look like it is called the androecium. androecium and symbol. Sometimes you will see this symbol in the medical science when you go through. Doctors say, what is your name? If you male, you will see this symbol, female this symbol, like that. Okay, so gamete, for gamete signify this one. Or what we see there, we will see this type of a structure, okay, this type of a structure we can see there. So look at here, what is this? These have three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Okay, and in case of the androecium, this one is known as anther, and this one is the filament. Why it is needed? Of course, it is needed to know, just for needing this one, that since we draw the figure, what is the part is mentioning there, we don't know. So this is anther, can contain the pollen grain that is needed for fertilization, and this one is the rod-like structure, is the filament. So anther and filament. So now we understand the carpel, gynoecium, symbol, stamen, androecium, this symbol and their parts: anther, filaments, and stigma, style, and ovary. Very importantly, we know this one, very important part, this one. Okay, now we will go through another parts, another important things for there. Two kinds of flower we can see there. Actually, flower with pedicel. This one is called stalked flower, and flower without pedicel, non-stalked flower. So it is asking for 1 marks. Flower with pedicel, stalked flower, flower without pedicel, non-stalked flower. So if we want to understand about that, stalk means actually what is mentioning there, I tell you this one. Flower is connecting. This part is the receptacle and this one is the stalk. Some flower have no stalk, so non-stalk flower, no pedicel. This is the pedicel also, stalk or pedicel. This is known as the stalk or pedicel. Okay, so a stalked flower and non-stalked flower. Some flower have the special. This is the calyx, and sometimes you will see more than that, apicalyx. Some flower have special parts also. Around the calyx is the apicalyx, and a stalk is known as the pedicel. If any flower have the pedicel, is the stalked flower. Without pedicel, non-stalked flower. So general structure of the flower, drawing the figure, and many of the information we learned today. So I hope so you learned this one. I will give you a SW task. This is to draw a complete flower with marking it parts. Just drawing, make it bold, clear, and excellent looking. So this is your SW. Then we will go to the next class with the new topics. That's all about today, my dear student. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.